Beer to Whiskey Clan, and welcome to this segment of, oddly enough, Beer to Whiskey. And I'm sitting here in Austin, Texas. This happens to be a little get-together of several of my fraternity brothers, and we thought since we were doing this that we would bring back the Fiji Brothers Whiskey Tasters, this crack panel of really not Scotch or bourbon or whiskey experts, but certainly drinking experts. They've had 50 years or more practice in the trenches, as I have, and therefore here's the man standing before you today. So it hasn't done all that much harm. Anyway, what we're going to do is I've chosen a bourbon that we are going to taste and talk a little bit about. And let me introduce the gang. Here is Randy Porter. Next to him is Wrangler Rick Fowler. And next to him is Bruce Kirkpatrick. We were all Phi Gamma Delta Fijis at Wittenberg University in Ohio, and we graduated in 1973. And from there I'll let you do the math. So what we have here today, well, before we do that, I'm so excited to get into this. I almost forgot one of the important parts. So there are a couple of things that we would like you to do. And Ports, what would those two things be?
That would be at the bottom of the screen. Find the like button and click on it and subscribe.
That's it. That's all you got to do. Click on the thumbs up like button. And at the end of the video, you'll have an opportunity where you can click on a couple of other videos to watch. Or you can click on the wooden Beer to Whiskey icon and you'll be subscribed, and a new video goes up every Thursday at noon East Coast time. So let's get down to the good stuff. Let's get down to the booze. This is, what I chose is a rather new name, and it's not available across the country yet. It's the Rabbit Hole Distillery's bourbon, and this particular, their normal bourbon, which is the regular bourbon, which is what this is got a mash bill that's 70% corn. It's about 10% wheat, 10% barley, and then 10% honey barley. And they age this because these guys are so new. They're only the distillery's only about 6 years old, and it is in downtown Louisville. But it's about 6 years old, and so they don't have lots of things that they've aged a long, long time. This, they say this has been aged 2+ years, so I would say it's somewhere between 2 and 3 years, but it's remarkable that it tastes so darn good. They also make a good rye, and then they do make a barrel-aged, it's been in the barrel 6 years, and part of that time it was in, I don't know, some other kind of whiskey barrel or a cognac barrel or something. And it is really smooth and rich and good. But we'll just go with the regular old Rabbit Hole, and let's not stand on ceremony here, boys. Well, that's okay.
So what are we supposed to be smelling here, Russ?
I'm glad you asked for it. What on the nose of it, and incidentally, we the four of us plus one of the other guys went to Austin's Whiskey Vault a couple of days ago, and only today have we gotten back to the point where we can once again drink a little whiskey. But it's a great experience, and I highly recommend it to you. It's go on your web browser and take a look. Look up Whiskey Vault, and it'll give you the details. But you can go in. You've got access to, I don't know, somewhere between 800 and 1,000 scotches and American whiskeys and bourbons, and for a little bit of money, they'll let you try just about anything you want. You got somebody there to guide you through it. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, the nose on it, according to the literature, you should be getting some grain, a little bit of light cinnamon, and a light floral.
I'm picking up some vanilla.
Well, vanilla, you know, as part of the aging process, vanilla always, you should always get some vanilla, just because of the bourbon going in and out of the wood in the barrel. That produces a vanilla tannin kind of thing. So there's almost always a little sense of vanilla to them. The initial taste, I am told, because I'm not really good at this, is again grain, a dark fruit, cherries, and light vanilla. The finish, the big finish.
We're not finished yet, are we?
No, we're not even close. We're not even close. The finish is a little spicy, and again, kind of, you know, again a little vanilla. So that's kind of it. But I don't know whether you agree with me, but I think it's pretty smooth for something that's only been in a barrel for
It is.
2.5 years.
You know, it's interesting, it has a little bite to it, but, you know, I'm as you know, a Blanton's fan, which is the original single barrel,
Yep.
aged much longer, and that probably adds to the smoothness of a Blanton's versus this, since it is young. Would you
Yeah.
say that's?
I would say that's true, and the one that they have that's older and that they've also aged a little bit in some other kind of barrel is much smoother. It's deeper, it's richer, and it's smoother. And incidentally, our guide at the Whiskey Vault said he gets yelled at when he talks about smoothness, but there isn't a better way to say it than smooth, and so that's what I'm saying. But what do you think, Kirk?
Well, what would you have to pay for a bottle of that, Russ, if you went into your local?
You should be looking at somewhere around $45,
Okay.
give or take.
That seems to be in most people's wheelhouse in terms of budget. We're
Well-
not talking super expensive.
Yeah, and the way I look at it is, if I buy even a decent bottle of wine, I'm going to be paying $25 for it,
Mhm.
and it's gone in a night.
That's true.
I mean, because you can't keep it, right?
Or half a night.
Or half a
You-
night. Yeah, sometimes it's sometimes we go through more than one. But you know, so here you are at around the $50 price point. I can sip on this for 6 or 8 months, and so to me it's worth it. But
You're not fooling your audience, Russ. This won't last 6 or 8 weeks. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
well, it was interesting. I took this, my day job, as some of you know if you watch this. I'm an automotive journalist, and I was at the Texas Truck Rodeo here. Was here right prior to us being here, and where we picked the truck at Texas. But anyway, I decided to have a couple of people in my room and open this up and just have a taste. And I had to actually wrestle it away from them at about half a bottle, or we wouldn't have had it to do this with. So I mean, this is one of my favorite finds in the last year or so. I'm just really happy with it.
And that's the name of the distillery?
Rabbit Hole. Yep.
What did you say the percentage of rye is in this? Do you know?
There is no rye.
Oh, there's no rye.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, it's corn, heavy corn, 71% or 70 or 71, and wheat is 10%, and then 2 different kinds of barleys that make up the rest of it.
It seems like it's opened up a little bit since we started drinking it. You open a bottle of wine, it breathes, you know, you get some of the bouquet and a little bit more out of it. This seems to be a little more open.
Well, that, and it usually takes about 3 sips before your tongue acclimates to the alcohol and the flavors and things. So that's probably part of it as well. Anytime you go to a distillery and they have you taste things, unless they're just so stingy that's only 1 sip in there, they'll tell you that it'll take till the 3rd sip or so before you get some of the things that you're supposed to get in it.
very drinkable. I like it.
Well, boys, anything else?
Let's go continue down the rabbit hole, Russ.
Yes, Amy, what a fun idea. And with that, we'll close out this segment and be sure we've got some others. There's some others already up on the site that we did about 12 months ago, 10 months ago, and so take a gander at those. And with that, boys, cheers.
Cheers.
Sitting too far apart. See you next time.